Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Unique Fumi. Thank you everyone. Thank you my subscribers. Thank you for coming here. Also, I want to say if you're coming here for the first time or you've just come across this video by any chance, you've been coming to this channel and you have not subscribed, please press the subscribe button down this video, the red button written subscribe. Please press it so that you can subscribe to this channel. And after subscribing, if you don't mind being notified of all the updates on this channel, please press the notification bell. There's that bell sign, the drawing of a bell beside the subscribe. Please press it. Then if there's any new video, you'll be the first to know. You'll be notified. Thank you so much. Please support this channel by subscribing. Thank you. Okay, so today we're talking about dating with insurance, courting with insurance, insuring our relationships, our dating, our courting. And that's the topic today, and that's what we're going to be discussing. So first off, before we talk about insuring our dating, I want to explain what I mean by insuring. When we insure when we insure our car, our houses, events that we want to do, when we insure them, investments, it means that we are creating a soft spot for landing. We are like paying for a shock absorber, that in case anything, if there's maybe breakdown or there's anything, then there is a soft spot. There's we have a soft landing. We have the insurance is there to patch things up for us so that we don't fully bear the cost. Sometimes we may actually bear a part of the cost but not full cost. And then it's helpful for our mind also. It puts your mind at rest, even though a lot of us believe in God that bad things will not happen, but we still do our insurance just for soft landing. So, and that is what I mean by insuring your courtship, your dating, your relationship. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is that please be sure that you are dating. Be sure that you're in courtship. Are you sure you're in courtship with someone that you think you're in courtship with, or you're in courtship with yourself, like you're dating yourself? Because a lot of times I've seen things, especially in recent times, what happens sometimes, ladies, we just see pictures on Facebook or WhatsApp, on social media, of their man, the fiance, the person they believe that they're building a future together with. They just see the person's wedding on social media. Some see the engagement on social media, and some even see naming ceremony for those of us from Africa that we do naming ceremony. They see pictures of naming ceremony on social media, and then that's where the shock comes from. When some actually end up having depression, some end up with in psychiatric hospital. It can be devastating, it can be heartbreaking. And I've seen cases of men also that think that they're in courtship with a certain lady, and the next thing, oh, they're seeing Ivy. Some even invite this man for their wedding. And when you ask, in the case of a man, and you're asking, how didn't you know that she had someone else? And they're saying, no, we've been together for some years, and anytime I mention something about marriage, that when is she planning to get married, she says she's not yet interested in that. And then the next thing I see is that she just brought her IV to me and said she's getting married to this guy next week because he came from abroad, or because she met him and that he felt like a fool. You see that case. And also the case of ladies, when you ask some of these men, they will say, no, I didn't ask her out, we were just friends, we're just close friends. In fact, she's my best female friend. Really? Best female friend for months, for years, for sometimes a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. Your best female friend, and she was planning her life with you, and you've occupied this space. You've occupied her space so much that you've pushed other suitors away. So that's why I'm saying, can you please define your relationship? Guys, can you actually ask the person that you call your fiancé, can you properly propose if you have not proposed before? And ladies, if this man has not proposed to you from the beginning, if he had only started by just dating you, taking you out to a restaurant, to this, to that, and you are assuming that you are in a relationship for months, for years, please can you ask him to define that relationship? If that man did not come at the beginning that I want us to start dating, with marriage in view, can you ask him that I would, if I had a choice from the beginning, I would have actually asked that guy. If I were you, I would have asked that guy after the first date. Let's say we went to a restaurant last week and he's coming this week and he's saying, Unique, can we go for Chinese? And then, okay, I'll still give him some benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, in fact, on the way to Chinese, I'm saying, all these, restaurant last week, Chinese this week. Oh boy, how far? Are you sure we're still friends? Because I hope you're not wasting your money, or what do you think? Or why are we taking this anyway? And if he says, no, we're not taking it anywhere. You're just friends. You've been very good to me. And, let's say we studied well together, or you've been a good colleague. Okay, so that is defined. Then we are not dating. We don't have any relationship. So, such a person, don't give them your space. Such a person that just wants a close female friend or a close friend of the opposite sex, don't let them occupy your space. Don't let them push away other suitors. You only go out with them when it's convenient for you. Not even when you want to sleep. If you want to have a rest, say, no, I want to have a rest. Be scarce. Be scarce. Don't let them occupy your space, so that, you don't end up being boxed into a corner that you are nobody in their lives, and still you can't be anybody in anybody's life, because they are making people around you to believe that there's something going on between you. So you have to be able to define your space. That this is my space. I would treat you the way I would treat every guy that is my friend. I don't want any special guy friend that would take, over my life. So you know that. But let's now say, he says, oh no, I want us to take it to the next level. Let's see how this will lead to. Let's see what this relationship will lead to. Maybe it can even end up in marriage. Red flags. Don't tell him that. No, ask properly. I want you to ask properly. I want to be sure of what we are getting into. Not that maybe it will end up, is it going to be with a marriage in view? And he says, oh, why are you trying to be difficult now? But of course, you know what I mean. No, I want you to tell him that I want you to say it with your mouth, and I want you to say it properly. Ask me properly. You're asking me out. You want to start dating me. You want us to, start courting with marriage in view. Then you ask properly. I would not advise you to ask him or to propose to him. Let him do the proposal. Let him ask you. Let him ask you properly. Okay, Unique. I love you, and I want us to start dating with marriage in view. There's nothing wrong with that. So be sure from the beginning that, okay, or if you have not been sure from the beginning, whatever point you are right now in your relationship, make sure that it's defined. Ask him, even if you've been together for 3-4 years, ask him that, we've been dating for some time. What is this going to lead to? What's your plan? What is it about us, me and you? You'll be shocked that he'll say, some may say, oh, no, you've been a very good friend. You've been a very close person to me. You've been so helpful. You've been a sister. You've been someone that has actually given me a lot of emotional support. Thank you so much for all your care. And they're not mentioning anything about marriage. Give them space. They've wasted enough time. And that is what I'm saying about guarding yourself. Insure yourself with caution. Okay? Now, let's now talk about proper dating. It's established that you're dating. So, now that you are dating, you are dating or you want to start dating, or the dating is established, still there is caution. If you are not married, you are not married. If you are not married, you are not married. And one thing that you need to realize is that nobody is meant to look out for you. You look out for yourself. Yourself first. In a relationship of courtship, when you're not yet married, you come first. You come first. So look out for yourself. Guard your heart. Guide yourself. Don't play the role of a wife when you are not yet a wife. Don't play the role of a husband when you are not yet a husband. Don't give anybody control over your life. Okay? And, there's something, when I was single, in fact, before I started dating, my dad had always drummed it into my ear that, Fumi, anything you do in courtship is for charity. Don't ever love with your body, soul, and spirit in courtship until you get married. Because whatever you do in courtship is for charity. Just assume you are doing it for charity, because there may be no returns on your investment. So don't invest what you know you cannot do without. Don't invest what you know that will cause bitterness or will cause you a lifetime of hatred, of rejection. So that is what I mean by dating with insurance. Date with caution. Your insurance is your caution. Your insurance is your guarding your heart. Guard your heart in a way that, if that courtship, if it ends a day to marriage, a week to marriage, a few months to marriage, on the morning of the wedding, a few hours to the wedding, that that you're walking free. It's not as if it's going to be totally free, because you've invested your emotions, you've loved, but you are not going to be going with bitterness forever. Date in such a way that if this thing doesn't work out, then when you see each other in a few years or in a few months or in a few decades, you are not going to be hating. You are not in bitterness over this person, because you have invested what you cannot afford to lose. So if you know that your money is so precious to you that if the person or anybody or the opposite sex or the person you are dating, if you invest your money or your life or your body into that relationship, and you know that this is what is so precious to me, my body is so precious to me, that I would find it difficult to forgive anybody that would take advantage of me and then will not marry me, then don't invest your body in that relationship. Don't. I personally I'm a Christian, and I don't believe in sex before marriage. So if I do that in a relationship, it means I have actually gone even against my belief, like what I believe God expects of me. And then the person now walks away. How am I supposed to feel after that relationship in case it doesn't work out? And sometimes relationships don't work out. It just doesn't work out. And what if you have invested what you can't afford to lose, and then you discover something like maybe a few days to the marriage, and then you yourself have to you have to stop the courtship because you can't live with what you've just discovered few months or few days to marriage? Will you now say, oh my God, because I've invested all my life and everything I have in my life, whatever I hold precious to me, I've already invested it in this relationship, then I have to marry him? And that happens a lot. Like ladies especially, it happens a lot, because they've done so much, they can't even, there's no going back. So even though this man or the person they call their fiance, even though maybe he slaps them or they've caught him with a lady a day to marriage, they still end up going ahead with that marriage because they've loved without caution. They've invested in that courtship without caution. Don't get me wrong. I've seen people, I have personally met people that, while I am thinking, or I'm saying, how can, no, she can't marry him. He slapped her. They're still courting. They're just boyfriend and girlfriend and he slapped her. And another lady is saying, just a slap for me. Why this drama over a slap? And I'm trying to point out that, no, if you can slap her in courtship, is it not going to be beating her in marriage? And they're saying, and so what? Is that not what's so strange in beating in marriage? Okay, now they can deal with that. What if you are like me that can't deal with that? So if he slaps you a day before marriage, now you've invested everything. In fact, you've become a slave. You are his family slave. And then you are a practical slave in his family house. You are a slave in his own apartment. Like, you've done so much. You've taken over the role of a wife in his life, and you've even done more than a wife to his family. Now, are you going to say, okay, I will marry him because there's no going back for me? Anything can happen. So don't invest all your life in courtship. And this is real fact. Don't become a casualty of anybody's failure. Courtship is courtship. Courtship is not marriage until you say I do on your wedding day. And even sometimes, do you know that people have actually discovered that they've been dating married people, married men especially? And please don't tell me that because you met him in church. We've seen ministers in church that are married and are dating young girls, or are dating other people that are not married, and those people don't even know that they are married. Okay, what if you now discover a few months to the wedding you are planning, or a few days to the wedding? What will you do? Won't you leave him another person's husband? Even if the wife is not ready to take him back, please, do you want to end up with that kind of person? Because most likely he'll still do it to you. So don't date with your whole head. Don't. I've seen cases of people being beaten a few days, traces that they didn't see almost throughout courtship for years, and then a few weeks to wedding. In fact, some of these cases happens, during preparation for wedding. During the wedding preparation, there's always tension. There's, there's always sometimes the argument between these two families and all that, in preparing, and, disagreements and all that. And then you notice something that you don't think you can cope with. You weren't brought up like that. Aren't you going to leave him? So now when you leave him, will it not affect you? This heartbreaks affect people. It affects them mentally, physically, socially. Some people refuse to go into dating anymore. Some people don't even want to. They don't believe in marriage anymore. It happens to both men and women. I've seen men that will say they can never trust a woman again because they thought they were in courtship with a woman until the woman went to marry somebody else under their nose, practically under their nose. And they will say, no, all women are liars. They can't trust any woman, so they are not getting married to anybody. Or, sometimes it wastes decades out of men's lives. Sometimes, they just think, okay, I'll just be dating ladies. Whoever gets pregnant should give birth. I'm not marrying any lady. These are things that affect people a lot. Don't invest your life. Don't invest, if you know your money is so precious to you, don't invest your whole salary in a man. Don't, some ladies actually do everything a wife does. Don't think that, all the styles, all the acrobatics you can do in bed is what will secure that man for you. Forget it. There are people that are better than you in that. There are people that's all the skill they have in life, And this a man that will be using you for that most likely has other ladies he's using, or has other ladies he's also testing. So what if he leaves you? And meanwhile, sometimes what you can't cope with, somebody else can cope with it. Okay, so now you now drop him and then, or he drops you, and you're just left there, what will you do? The worst you can do is to start cursing. You place curses. And this God can be so merciful. Our God can be so merciful. The God I believe in can be so merciful that while you are saying, oh, he did this to me, for 5 years, he used me, it shall not be well with him. Sometimes God is so merciful that it may even be well with him before it becomes well with you. And you, man, that you're saying, she had my ATM card. In fact, she was one controlling my salary all my life for the past 5 years. And now she went to marry that man. Oh, she will not have peace of mind. What if her peace of mind is so sure? What if you are seeing her that she's having peace of mind? What does she want to do? You know, don't do things that you know that will affect you in every way. Because nothing supports you. No one has asked you. Even God will not support you. You know, in Jeremiah, okay, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to quote a Bible verse now. Jeremiah 17:5 says that cursed is a man that puts his trust in man. Don't put your trust in any man. Don't. Because even the Bible does not support you. As a Christian, I don't know what other religions say about that. Don't put your trust in anybody. You are not yet married. And until you get married to that man, until you get married to that woman, you are not yet their spouse. You're just a girlfriend, you're a fiancé. You're a fiancé. And you're a boyfriend, you're a fiancé. So date with caution. And always remember that whatever you do in courtship is for charity. You're kissing for charity. If you have sex with him, it's for charity. If you spend all your money on her, it's for charity. If you invest your life, all your time, all your weekends, you're going there to wash, to scrub, it's for charity. If you're buying gifts for his family members, for them to love you, you're doing it for charity. And trust me, there may be more than 2 or 3 of yourself that are doing that. Everything you do is for charity. Don't even, and please, whatever you can't even cope with in marriage, why you don't even start it now? You know, don't. Because everything you do, you're not yet married to him. You're doing it for charity. So please date with caution. Even if, and I'm telling you that even if you are so sure that God has given you this man or this woman, you are sure, and you've seen it in the dream, you've seen that her or him in the dream, and you've seen that, God says, unique for me, this is your husband. Mister, this is your wife. Until you get married to them, don't. Because a lot of, sometimes you think you have seen dreams. You may even be dreaming about someone that you have been thinking about. That is what you are dreaming. And you think God has given you this person. Or because you've seen them in church. Oh my God, he's the church drummer. Oh my God, he's the prayer leader. Oh my God, he's the youth pastor. Oh my God, he leads praise and worship. Oh my God, he can disappoint you. Even if he quotes all the Bible passages, I have seen in the church that the world is in the church. There's you can't even, sometimes you find it so difficult to pick them differently. The fact that he can do this, he can quote all the Bible verses, he can pray all the prayers, he's a minister, is that does not mean that that is your husband, or does not mean that is perfect. Is human. And some of them, I don't even know, like some of them, I think a lot of people are hypocrites. A lot of them are so good at acting that you would think that you've met people of God, but they may just be gifted. Okay? So please, don't invest your life in someone that you're not yet married to. When you get married, then you know you're a wife, you know you're a husband. So date with caution. Date with caution that anything can still happen before you get married. And if you date that way, then you can be sure that if anything happens, you've guarded your heart. You look out for yourself. When you are in the plane, if you want to travel, the aircraft crew will always warn you that you make sure that you guard yourself in case of any emergency. make sure that you take care of yourself, you secure yourself before you look out for any other person. So make sure that in courtship also, you look out for yourself. You look out for yourself even while loving up. I also loved up. I was in love and I had a long courtship. It was not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 years courtship I had. I met my husband in school, and so you know that I had a long courtship, but I still had it, and I was 100% sure. In fact, I would say I was 100% sure. Nobody could tell me that it was not God's ordained husband for me. I believed God gave me my husband, but still I had it at the back of my head that if it remained a day for me to marry the wrong person, and that was my prayer also, that God, by your mercy, let me not marry the wrong person. If it remained a minute for me to marry a wrong person, I will not marry that person in Jesus' name. That was my own prayer, and that was how I courted. Even though I believe this is the right person for me, I had courted him, we had seen that this is someone I could live with, I still had it at the back of my head that if anything happened the day to marriage, if anything happened on the wedding morning, I was going to cut it. And that was me. So, and that was my own way of guarding my heart. So, but we are all different. But please, however you want to do it, guard your heart. Caution, 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 caution when you're dating. Okay? You're not yet married to the person, and date right. Thank you. Whatever is precious to you, hold it precious. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose your belief. And don't lose your personality because of somebody else, so that in case anything happens, you're free. You will miss the person, but you will not lose your mind, and you will not lose yourself. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye.